So I don't know if you want us to start and then I do what I'm about to do, but you know what, fuck it. Let me just apologize. I didn't realize that movie was what it was. I I I I believed, I mean I don't sorry, you were about to say something.
You don't need to apologize because I actually look, man, when I watched it, so you hadn't seen it either before the recommendation, right? So this was the first time
Yeah,
for you seeing it.
yeah.
Okay, so as I'm watching it, I'm like, I think Keen's gonna enjoy this film because the film's kind of a mind fuck, right?
That was what I was hoping for.
And you didn't get that.
I didn't get that. Like, I mean, it was annoying.
I just time travels in this film, and with time travel, my big pet peeve is plot holes. There's two things I don't bloody understand. Like the he's the villain, right? And the good
Yeah.
guy at the same time.
Yeah.
But if you look at the loop that he put himself in, how does he start the loop? So he okay, fucking first of all, why did he have the binoculars and why was he looking over into the woods with binoculars? That makes no fucking sense. Why do you just randomly do that? But let's put that one aside. He takes the binoculars and he looks, but there's no reason for that girl to be taking her clothes off in the woods. There's no reason for that girl to be taking her clothes off in the woods unless he had started the time loop. Because if you look at the loop, he forces her to do that. So
Yeah.
fucking how did that time loop ever start? It doesn't make sense.
Dude, I'm like okay, so he accidentally, pushes her down this hill or whatever. She hits her head. That sounded like a heavy hit, like a hard hit.
Okay.
Then, he takes her clothes off, tosses them aside. She's chilling. He comes back at some point. She's gone with the clothes.
Hmm.
But then, when we see Hector 3, it's almost like she never took the clothes off. Like the clothes weren't dirty or anything. They weren't rumpled. She didn't have whatever. She didn't look like she had been hit on her
Well, I
head. So I'm
mean,
like,
I let that part slide the same way every time he got out of the liquid, his head was wet, but his clothes were completely dry. Stuff like that I let slide, but my point was, it's like the film's about a dude who's stuck in a time loop, creating infinite number of Hectors that he keeps trying to kill. My point is, how does that time loop start? Because I understand how it doesn't end, but you need a catalyst to start it, there is none. So I'm not sure what the fuck was going on.
he wasn't even trying to kill him. I mean,
No, yeah, he was.
maybe at first, because maybe he had this. Let's try to use science. Actually, I don't remember the exact term, but when they say that there's certain people that suffer from this, where they go through an episode or something psychologically, and then they start to imagine that everybody around them has been replaced with someone else, like they're the people around them are clones of someone else or whatever. So yeah, it's possible that he saw himself and didn't believe that that was himself. He probably felt like that was somebody that replaced him. But that was when he didn't really understand what was going on. But I think by the time he got back to the dude after, the first guy apparently, or whatever the fuck he was sent on his first time trip backwards.
Okay.
At that point, I think he realized what was going on, that he was basically stuck in a time loop. So he's like, okay, I need to go back and clear up this whole mess. So by the time Hector 3 went back, to the past, he was already aware. He wasn't trying to kill anyone. He was aware that he was stuck in a time loop, and those were variations of himself.
Right, but he exists in the same timeline as those variations, and for him to be with his wife, the variations have to die. I think that's what was going on because in a timeline where there's two Hectors or three Hectors, there's only one wife, and so he wants to kill the other Hector so that he could be with the wife. That's what I understood. But at the same time, this is beside the plot hole. But as soon as I found out that Bandage Face was Hector, the fear went away because Hector was so unthreatening to me that now I know that the dangerous dude is Hector. I can take on Hector. I'm no longer worried about Bandage Face. Second of all, if I get in a car accident like that, I'm gonna apply a pressure to the wound. I am not gonna wrap my face in bandages. I don't understand where that came from. Like, who the fuck does what he did?
Yeah, there were too many things that, for one, I'd be honest with you, from the beginning, I could already see how they were setting stuff up. Now, of course, I didn't exactly know where it was going to go, but I could already suspect with Timecrimes. I mean,
Yeah, the
you,
name the name was
so, like with him looking at the girl and the girl obviously not showing her face, I was like, something is up here. Eventually, he's going to be the one. I'd already get, maybe because I've seen enough of these stories, so I don't understand why this movie got great reviews. I'm like, this guy and this girl are connected. This girl is not looking at this guy. Something is up. He's probably the reason why she's doing all this stuff. And when he got stabbed by that dude, obviously looking like, the invisible
Bandage
man or
Face.
whatever, I was
Yeah,
like, they obviously are trying to hide this person's face, and this person is most likely this guy. And I was like, this is a freaking time loop movie. And
yeah. It was.
and
They made no effort to correct the science or the understanding or the logic for the time loop. There's a major plot hole. Is that there's no catalyst event to begin the time loop? I just spent the entire film going, well, wait a minute. Why was that girl in the yard in the woods taking her clothes off to begin with? There's no reason for her to be doing that. Like when this dude Hector One is just like chilling at his home with his binoculars for some reason. Why does he see her in the woods? There was no reason to attract her to the woods. I mean, she's a gorgeous woman, so I understand if you had seen her in the woods why you would continue watching. But like, it's just, and then I don't know. Maybe I understand like you have to do shit to progress the plot, but who the fuck does what this guy did? Like his actions just make no sense
no
at all.
sense.
Like yeah, like I would never do what he did. And then if I woke up in the future, why would I immediately go, okay, well now I'm gonna escape this building where the scientist dude told me to chill out? Like the scientist dude said, sit here and chill out and we'll fix it. Like it'll fix itself. Is that yeah, it sounds reasonable, but also I'm gonna go murder. Like
Dude, I swear, like when that shit happened, I laughed a little. I was like, this kind of this seems like an allegory for this COVID-19 situation where they're like, wear a fucking mask. Let's just like, I mean, we need you to wear the mask so we can kind of like, let this thing like just stop spreading. And then they're like, I want to wear a fucking mask. Okay, well, here's a vaccine. I don't want a fucking vaccine either. So it's like these are the same people. It's like, what do you want? There's no cure. But anyway, I digress. Uh,
if any of our non-existent viewers don't like wearing a mask, we apologize for our King's League statements.
fuck it, I'm not pandering to anyone. Look, I get it that there's, you know,
No, no, I fully
the
understand
science
what you're
hasn't
saying.
caught up.
It's like
Yeah, I
even
mean,
if
of course.
whether you're pro lockdown or not, just wear a damn mask.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like some people
Irrelevant.
would say, like, whether you're an atheist or whatever, like whether you believe in God or you don't, like just
Be
try as much as
nice.
possible to be nice, just in case.
Hey man, I'll say this like over here in Egypt now, people just stopped giving a fuck. Ain't no one's wear like people wear masks where institutions require it. So like if you go into a bank, they won't let you in without one. So people
Yeah.
will do it for that. But like walking in the streets, interacting with one another, no one gives a fuck. Like I think the rule is that restaurants can only operate at like 25% right now. Nobody
Yeah.
gives a shit. They're sitting in groves. Like restaurants have like 200 people stuffed in them, and they're all eating and drinking. No one, people are so over it. And then I don't know. Well, maybe we should keep talking about this. Never mind, because this could turn into a long
Yeah.
conversation. But
That is true. That is true.
you find yourself back in time, right? And you're looking at remnants of yourself, and like I understand the phone call, I understand him then recognizing that he's in a time loop, but the scientist said, "Chill out here, it'll correct itself." And then he's like, "Yeah, that's reasonable. But also, I'm going to go kill past me."
No, but but dude, it's like I mean, okay, so yeah, okay, so maybe the first one had motivation to kill the past him for whatever reason. But I'm like, at what point do you start to remember, like, hey, this happened to me, or oh shit, I was the one who did this thing that I remembered. I should probably back the fuck up and just chill. Like, just let I mean, dude, like, so where it started, look, they kind of even lost me at the beginning where he went to purchase stuff. He drove
Right,
into his driveway,
right.
and all that shit had
Fell out.
dropped.
Yeah.
And you would think that a person's reaction when he sees stuff like that is like, "Oh fuck!" He just it was like business as usual. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a stupid person. So that kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe he's a stupid person. This is supposed to be like, a plot device where we kind of forgive everything
I
else.
didn't get it as stupid. To
But
me, it struck me as like super patient because, dude, if I talk to someone and they don't hear me, I don't just like calmly, like maybe I'm an asshole, but like if I tell you something and you don't hear me and I say it again and you don't hear me, then I start yelling. And I'm not yelling just so that you can hear me. I'm yelling because I'm frustrated that you didn't hear me the first few times. You know what I mean? But he's all like, she didn't hear me. I'll just go about my day. Like, I don't know. And then, like, I will say this: they chose a very average-looking lead. Like,
average.
hey, man,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be nice. Uh,
very normal-looking. Yeah, average. I wouldn't say average. I mean, I've seen many middle-aged men that look like that. Like, I don't know.
yeah, they just chose someone that doesn't strike you as a
But
lead.
it just when I found as soon as I understood that he was the villain, the fear completely went away. I just stopped being like when it first happened. I was all like, fucking Akeem has me watching like a fucking time travel bandage faced horror flick, like you know, with subtitles." And I was like, "Oh wait, it's not horror at all. This is some sort of psychological thing." Because I could take on Hector, buddy. Like if it came down, even with a pair of scissors, if I had to fight Hector, I got it. Hector is not threatening me.
Yeah,
Also,
this is
also, if I'm running away from some bandage face and I find this weird looking house slash hospital type area and then end up in like some big ass lab and then a walkie talkie, I don't automatically trust everybody over on the walkie talkie side.
and some guys like, yeah, get into this place. He most likely won't find you. I'm like, how is it that you know so much?
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, I
And
don't
then
have
it's
a
like, oh,
lock
you get it
here.
first.
You, you don't have a lock for the door, and then
Is
you have security cameras. You could see him coming. I was just like, this is a setup, right? It's a setup. Like, why is this
yeah.
dude trusting? He None of his actions are what I would have done, and I was just like, oh, and I sat there going, all right, well, gotta progress a plot, gotta progress a plot, gotta progress. And at some point, it's just like, what the fuck is Hector doing? What the fuck is this guy doing? Like the chick in the woods, like I understand her actions a little bit, because she's a guy concerned. But then when I saw the part where she's looking at some dude with bandages around his head, I would not come near a dude that looked like that,
Yeah,
And
like
then I definitely wouldn't follow him into the woods when he's like, "Oh, I'll explain later." Like, fuck you. You seem okay. You seem okay enough to be giving me orders. I'm not fucking around with some bandage faced dude in the woods. Like, sorry, not happening.
plus it's like okay, he's seen all these I mean, I had so many issues with the story. Look, I didn't even bother writing notes. Like I'm not even trying to
And
remember
then
any.
yeah, oh, I mean, we're not even talking about the film because the plot is such a big like speed bump, right? Like roadblock, obstacle type thing. We're not even talking about filmmaking, but
Yeah.
what the fuck happened in the end? Because he stayed in the loop. He just told the dude,
Yeah.
"Don't let Hector 2 come back, Bandage Face go back in time." But Hector 1 still goes back in time, so I don't understand what you've accomplished.
It's one of those really cool independent movie ends
Right?
open to
What?
interpretation.
No, no, that's not what happened here. Because A, you don't explain how he got stuck in a time loop, and then in the end, you don't explain how he got out of the time loop.
And well,
It was
maybe the point of the story is like maybe it was maybe the protagonist is actually the scientist. It's like don't come in on your day off and start fucking around.
Here's the thing, though. The way they made it seem, I started to sit there and go, is this dude a scientist, or is he just a janitor that wanted to fuck around? Also, they chose like a very average male lead, and then like gorgeous wife, and then gorgeous whatever the heck you want to call the lady in the woods. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide. It's like, kind of know who was doing the casting there.
They're like, yeah, and at some point you show us your tits.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not upset
La la
about
la la
that.
la 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 la. No.
But
No, I'm just saying no. No.
I just said I'm not upset about that. She was a very attractive woman.
Did you say, oh, I thought you said very jacked up woman.
No, just not attractive. Very attractive woman. Sorry for my enunciation.
No, 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 no. That was my fault. I was saying I'm hearing shit. But no, she was attractive. But back to the
No, no,
story
no.
and
I mean,
it's
look. I know you want to forget, but there's the ways. Yeah, she was attractive. Like kind of, but if she's just like kind of attractive, then what the fuck? I mean, dude, she was a. All right, maybe we should move.
yeah, it's like okay, why did he pick up that jacket or sorry trench coat like when he at least wait I'm like is it that he wasn't remembering stuff until after the fact that I saw this dude and the dude that stabbed me happened to be wearing a coat that looked
Also,
just like what I'm wearing.
what was with the hand binoculars as bandage face?
Maybe it helps people to see. Maybe we should try it more.
Like I understood it when we didn't know who Bandage Face was because I thought he was taunting him for having binoculars. But then
Yeah.
when I found out that it was him, I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, like I mean, see, with at some point it started to feel like okay, maybe he was just doing stuff because I think he made a statement like that at some point that he was doing stuff to make sure that Hector 1 ended up in that whatever that thing was, a time travel device. But I was like, really? You have to do all these things with it just took a guy that seemed like a simple dude and just made him a villain at certain points just because like why did he stab Hector like just to have him run away? It didn't seem like he was trying to kill Hector. I mean like at least later on, maybe initially,
No, no, no. I
but
get it, but
not
like when I saw that scene again, I was like, "All right, now stab him in the neck." Like now you know you want to kill Hector 1, right? Supposed Hector 1, and you know you're gonna get an opportunity to stab him from behind. Aim for the damn neck, right?
and if you remember well, like you've been remembering conveniently, then you know exactly where he's gonna go, what path he's gonna take.
Right.
Just go and get him.
And then if you want to kill him when he got back in the time machine and the scientist is on your side, why send him back in time? Why not just stop there and kill him while he's trapped in the big vat of liquid?
Yeah.
And then also when Hector 2 was still our Hector 1 and he was running away from the villain and he found himself in this slab in this house, at no point did he grab a weapon of any sorts. He just grabbed a walkie-talkie and his binoculars. And I'm like, grab a knife, grab a stick, grab a crowbar, grab a something.
And then Hector 3, somehow, I don't know, like he's really good at playing that angle game or whatever, where he hits the car in such an angle that probably could send it off in a tailspin or whatever, and expects that, oh, okay, I'm just gonna hit it and shit is just gonna progress like it's supposed to. Like, it,
Yeah, the film was bizarre. But then I was like, maybe this is what a Keen enjoys, a big old mind fuck and like the
nah, bro,
one.
that was not a mind fuck. That was I saw it and I was apologizing to you almost
No, you,
halfway through the movie, like, oh, I'm so sorry that I wasted both our times. I mean,
you
sorry,
don't
I
have
have
to.
to say this. I have to say this, of course. I appreciate um the filmmakers and
Oh,
what
a Keen
all
with
the
a
people
soft
involved for
heart. You
giving
know
us a
what?
movie to
The way you keep apologizing now, I think you owe Christopher Nolan a big old I'm sorry for the way you shat on this Batman trilogy. Because you made
oh, did I?
I mean, our first three episodes of this podcast, you made no concessions to, well, they tried their best. Like,
Sweep?
you just shat on the films just like in a row. Like, you didn't give a fuck who worked on it.
Well, you're right. You're right. At that point, I
Still
was
cold
speaking.
hearted.
I was a little cold-hearted, but look, I mean, I understood back then that it's hard to make a movie. But I think the more I started to think about it, I just felt bad that I was, being so harsh. So, I mean, movies, yeah, movies could be terrible. And yes, we are, consumers, so we have a right to say, don't like this. Oh, I like this. But ultimately, Nolan is cool. It's just, I guess, my expectation of him is
That's
pretty
fair.
high.
That's fair.
Uh, with this movie that we watched, um, I appreciate what they did, but I don't know if I would want to see any of the movies that they have in store. Again,
On a positive note, I enjoy seeing the little details like when Hector 2 was hiding in the lab and we didn't see his hand. Like I wanted to go back and rewind and see if his hand was visible in the first scene because there is like little details like that I would have
yeah.
liked to see if we'd picked up on. Um, let's see what else. Oh, oh, I guess there is nothing else.
You know what?
I'm
I
trying to
sent,
like think of the music. It was meh. Camera work was average.
yeah.
I got
You know what?
nothing.
We're short on a tight budget too. But I mean, hey,
Was it?
I I'd probably look. You know what? I'm a sucker for pain. I would go ahead and look to see if the person has made any more movies and give it a shot. I mean, it's just when you make a movie like that and people praise it, how are you going to improve?
Oh, I see your point. But wait, what reviews? Like, hold on, let me see what this thing scored in terms of reviews.
On Rotten Tomatoes, 89%.
89 from the
Yeah,
critics.
that was why I thought that it was that good because
Audience score 79 too.
I'd seen this for years and because there were certain movies that time because I was still interested in time travel movies at that point, but I've grown to sort of despise time
Well,
travel movies.
it grossed a
Um,
grand total of $564,000. So yeah,
I mean, look, box office sales don't always reflect
a damn
how
good
good a
indicator
movie.
usually. Well,
Well,
I'll say this: it does depend on your marketing team heavily.
true, true. But
Oh, and then apparently, like I looked up the cast, and you know the girl in the woods, she's just credited as La Chica. So the girl,
oh,
because I guess they never gave her a name in the film either. So
oh, and okay, yeah, and we found initially I was like, I don't even know this guy's name, and you know what? I don't know if I even care. But eventually they were like, oh yeah, his
oh
name is
yeah,
Hector. But the director was actually the guy in the lab.
really?
Yeah.
I don't like it when directors are on the screen. It bugs me.
Well, he
I,
made okay. So there's another movie that he made that I want to see, or that I wanted to see. I guess I will still. I'll go ahead and see it now, just in case he redeemed himself. Colossal, and it's a movie with what's that girl again? Oh, Catwoman.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, and Hathaway. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and check that out.
I'm just hoping
Um,
no more subtitles. Like I don't want to be that dude who shits on foreign film, but it's like I don't read fast enough for that shit. No, but I will say like the subtitles were pretty okay paced in this film. There was no like screaming matches or anything.
You know what? Movies like this, that I might have heard whatever about over the years and think maybe they might be nice enough, I'll just send them to you like, hey, check out this movie, not for, the podcast. Just check it out. And if they're not good enough, then we can shit on them in private. At least I don't have to care about feelings and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Throw them my way. I don't mind.
Yeah,
Dude, I spend
but
most of my time and there's like this constant. I don't want to watch something too interesting because I want to fall asleep. Slash, I don't want to get something too boring because I don't want to fall asleep immediately. And then I end up watching reruns of Gilmore Girls.
oh, actually, that might not be a bad thing. I've never seen an episode.
It's not your cup of tea. It's
Okay.
not like don't think like oh yeah I'll give it a go. You thoroughly it would be so unentertaining for you. You would go crazy. It's not a keen material at all.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're beginning to get a sense of what I'm interested in.
Look, even from day one, I know this isn't an Akeem type TV show.
Then why the fuck were you trying to get me to watch Casablanca at some point?
Just for fun, just for shits and giggles. It's just like just trying to see what I could make you endure. But Gilmore Girls is like a seven season long TV show of like
Yeah.
44 minutes, 24 episodes a season. Yeah, you can't sit through. Like that would be what I would do if I would like if I was in control of Guantanamo Bay and I had Akeem as a prisoner. This is what I would make him endure. I'd be like Gilmore Girls, nothing but Gilmore Girls till you talk. Like
Or you could just show me this movie that we saw.
it would. Oh come on. I mean, okay, fine. I want to say it wasn't that bad, but hey,
Yeah.
I actually preferred this over that bullshit the platform film we saw.
What?
Remember the platform?
No, no, no. I'm saying really?
Yeah, dude, platform was shit. Platform was shit.
Uh,
I remember like
well,
seeing through the platform another film with subtitles, mind you, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this? What am I watching?"
okay, I
Sorry
guess
for that sound. It's my dog again.
okay,
Keep
damn man.
going.
I had one. I was like, okay. To me that this one of course is a that I'm about to talk about is a subtitled movie, but I think it's pretty good. But after seeing two movies that or whatever they are. Maybe we shouldn't watch it.
What is it?
Dogtooth. It was what Dogtooth.
I don't
Was
know it.
one of the movies. I, when we're trying to figure out which movie to watch, it was one of those that I
Oh,
recommended.
okay.
Yeah,
I
but
don't have anything against like foreign film. I'm not. It's just sometimes when I'm like watching late at night and I'm tired, it's easier if I could just listen and not have to read. But I don't have
I
anything
agree.
against foreign film. Like I don't have anything against people that make films outside the English language. Dude, I don't even watch that many Arabic films. I don't. When I say that many, I've literally seen two in the last. I want to say decade and a half. I just don't. Like I know what I like, and it's a small niche. It's like cutesy, artsy, rom-commy type films, and that's like I know my lane. I stick to my lane. Like I don't really, you know what I mean. And so it's whenever
Yeah.
I stay the fuck away from horror. Just I can't like. I'm glad that the bandage face dude was just Hector. Otherwise, I would be having nightmares and shit. But like Hector, no offense to the actor that can play him, but if it came down to it, even if he showed up in my room and had a pair of scissors, I'd fuck him up. Like, and I don't sound arrogant or anything, but I could take on Hector. Like, thoroughly unthreatening type guy.
Yeah. Uh, I was sure that this recording was going to be brief. I was going to say, "Hey, what's up? Blah 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 blah."
Hello,
Uh,
it's shit.
s-
Goodbye.
yeah, goodbye. Nope. This movie is a nope for me.
Nope, not even recording. It's like we don't even like record a video. It's just like welcome to Movie Butter. Don't watch this. Goodbye. Like see you next week.
But after this, I think I'm going to pull up one of those because I'm sure they're hella pretentious. I'm going to pull up one of those, a couple of those reviews, and just try to see what was it that they saw that I somehow missed.
We should have done that before the podcast.
Nah, it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, it does.
Uh, doesn't. But anyway, man,
Wrap it
let's
up.
not stretch it. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Well, thank you all for tuning in for our discussion of whatever the fuck that was, and tune in next week for a surprise whatever because we haven't decided what we're reviewing next. That's all I
Yep,
got.
pretty
Dude,
much.
usually like one of us is like happy, the other is sad, or whatever. We're both like thoroughly unamused. Like
Yeah,
it is what it is.
my all I can say is thank you for your time. I don't know how many minutes this is, but it seems like it's
The tough part is so because we have like so many spoilers in the way we discuss the films. The people that like I would imagine if someone's watching this podcast is someone who's already seen the film like us and just wants to hear a discussion about it. And it's like I
yeah.
can't imagine anyone going, "Oh yeah, I saw that. Let me hear more about it."
Maybe we should start saying spoiler alert at the
Why?
beginning. I don't know. Yeah,
It's a
it's saying fuck.
given.
Yeah,
We're
pretty
not like
much.
people. I don't think we've ever made the. I don't know. Just the way we've set up this podcast is we talk about the film after seeing it in a way where the audience would have had to see it as well.
Yeah, because we're supposed to dissect it, but this movie is it's kind of
Rotten on
paper
the inside.
thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's paper thin. It's just plain paper or paper with a couple of scribbles. Like, how can you dissect? Like, what is there to take away from it? Like, yeah,
If some bandage face dude tells you to go in the woods, run. I mean that's kind of a given, but just run.
nah. If you could fuck him up, just fuck him up. Just stop the loop. Like, but anyway,
That would
fuck
have
it,
been a good
man.
way to stop the loop. Yeah, at no point
Yeah.
did he consider suicide, did he?
Yeah, I'm like, I got two other copies of myself. Like, I'm gonna beat this shit, or da, 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 da. But it's like, oh no, I got one mission. Let me get him into the same shit that's been replicating me. Man, yeah. Let's
All right.
just. I need to watch
Let's wrap it up
this.
a second time. Thank you all for watching. Tune in next week for whatever the heck we decide to watch next week. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, kind souls.